All right, welcome back everybody. My name is Pratesh here with Kaizen Crypto, bringing you guys another video. So I hope you are all doing well and that you guys are having a great day. Today is Friday, March 27th of 2020. So in this video, what I wanted to share with you guys, just some of my thoughts. I know many people who have been watching my videos and commenting are asking about some of my opinions on where's the best place to buy cryptocurrency, which exchanges I use, how I go about charting, using some basic technical analysis. So I wanted to bring you guys that here in this video, basically kind of like a step-by-step video on how you can start buying crypto, and more specifically Cardano. So if you guys do like this content here today, please be sure to smash that like button for me. And if you guys are new to the channel and if you do find some value from these videos, be sure to hit that subscribe button. I want to keep you guys informed and up to date. Click that notification bell so you can get notified when I post a new video. So first things first, to get started here, just a brief overview of what we're going to be talking about in this video. So being a member of the Cardano community, it's amazing to see that we've got members of the community from all across the world. And it's pretty cool. And I wanted to share with you guys what I like to do. I'm based here in the US, and being able to purchase cryptocurrency, being able to convert that into whatever type of digital asset that you like, whether it's Cardano, whether it's Ethereum, doesn't matter. A lot of exchanges even allow you to link your debit card so you can purchase directly from fiat. So it's pretty cool. You've got a lot of different options. Me personally, I prefer the Cash App. Cash App it's very common here in the US. You're able to have basically an app on your phone act as a bank account. And you have a little debit card and they send that to you in the mail. And in this Cash App, you can actually use that to buy and sell Bitcoin. So very cool. I'm going to be showing you guys how to get that all started here in this video. And then later we're going to be taking a look at an application called TradingView, where I like to draw up some basic chart patterns. Nothing too complicated. This is going to be for people who are interested. Maybe if you're just starting out and you want kind of like a step-by-step guide, this is going to be for you. So after that, we're going to be taking a look at how you can send your Bitcoin to an exchange, and taking a look at an order book and how to go about filling your order for Cardano. So all of that is here in this video. Let's jump right into it. Okay, so guys, before we get started with this video, I did just want to preface that none of this is going to be financial advice. This is just my opinions and how I like to go about things. There are many different ways that you can do this. So please do your own research if you're interested more in this type of topic. But this is just my opinion and how I like to go about it. So to start things off, what we're looking at here, this is the Cash App. So when you open up the Cash App, you're going to go about linking your bank account. You can fund the Cash App by sending dollars directly. You can have a friend send you money by clicking on request down at the bottom. And you can also give money or send it by tapping on the pay option on the right. So this is going to be pretty much your main page for the Cash App. That's what we're looking at right now. And we've got a few different tabs here at the bottom. So once you've gone through the process of linking your bank account or your credit or your debit card, when you click on the bottom left icon, it looks kind of like a little house. You're going to see your available balance, and you're going to have the option to either add cash or cash out. And then we can see here that there's a cash option, there's a Bitcoin option, and then you have the option listed for bank accounts. Now, in this case, what we're looking at is Bitcoin. So when you tap on Bitcoin, this is going to show you your available Bitcoin balance. And then from here, you can also see your wallet where you can either deposit or withdraw Bitcoin. There are a couple things to note here. So as far as buying Bitcoin, you do have Bitcoin limits. This is something that if you are purchasing just small amounts, you're not going to have a big issue with it. But if you are purchasing bigger amounts, just keep that in mind. You do have limits here for using the Cash App. But yeah, so that is going to be what we're looking at here. The user interface is very clean. It's very basic. Another thing to keep in mind is that the fees on the Cash App are very reasonable for a lot of people who are just starting out. I know it's Coinbase primarily is going to be the main exchange. Keep in mind, Coinbase does have the user experience. They've got a very clean user interface, but you're paying fees like crazy. If you want to buy, if you want to sell, if you want to trade, you're paying lots of fees with Coinbase. One thing that I found that I like very much with the Cash app is that the fees are very reasonable. So something to keep in mind, if you guys do have your favorite exchange that you'd like to buy Bitcoin, let me know down in the comments section below. I'd love to hear from you guys. But for the sake of this video, showing you guys how to go about it here. So now I've gone through the process of linking my bank account and whatnot. If you click on the little squiggly line, it looks kind of like a line graph going upwards. So that's going to give you the option to either buy Bitcoin, or you can even start investing in stocks now using the Cash app. For the sake of this video, we're talking about Bitcoin. What I wanted to do for the sake of this video is just show you guys how to go about it. So they make it very easy to be able to buy and sell. In this case, you can choose one of these increments. For me, in this case, 20 bucks is cool. So I'm just going to click on next. Okay, and then you just want to click on confirm. And if everything looks okay to you, you can use your Touch ID. Or if you have Face ID set up, if you're using an iPhone, you can do that as well. It's going to process the transaction, and that's it. So you've purchased 0.00295189 Bitcoin. So you've got a little bit of Bitcoin in there. So you can see here the fee, pretty reasonable, is a 50-cent fee. Not too bad for about $20 worth of Bitcoin. But yeah, that's what we're looking at here. And then now that you've purchased Bitcoin, you can see that the available balance has updated in our wallet. So from here, we can withdraw our Bitcoin onto an exchange. Okay, so after you have purchased your Bitcoin using the Cash app, the next thing for us to do is go ahead and send it onto an exchange. So now you can use any exchange. One thing to keep in mind is that you want to make sure that if your exchange requires KYC, that you go ahead and do that if you feel comfortable. If not, there are other exchanges that do not require KYC if you're just using a small amount of cryptocurrency. So you guys want to do your own research when it comes to that. For me, where I live, Kucoin is a very good exchange. They do have KYC requirements, but I'm okay with that. You know, it's something that I just went ahead and did. If you are going to be trading on these platforms, you want to make sure that you're using a reputable exchange. And for the sake of this video here today, I know many people who do trade are going to try and use some type of margin or leverage. For the sake of this video, I'm not going to be showing that, and especially for those of you who are just starting out, I would recommend you stay away from margin. Basically, what margin does is it increases your exposure to a certain asset without having to have a lot of capital. So let's say if you're working with $20 worth of cryptocurrency, if you're using margin, you can long or short using leverage, whether it's 5x, 10x, doesn't matter. But basically what you're doing is you're amplifying the effect of your capital. So now it goes both ways also. So if you long and if you are positive and if you're making a gain, you're going to gain by that many multiples. And it works the same way with losses. So that's why it can be very powerful, and it can also be very dangerous. So for the sake of this video, I'm going to kind of avoid showing you guys that. I typically recommend that you stay away from margin, especially if you're new to crypto. But what we're going to be taking a look at here, I've got the Kucoin dashboard pulled up. This is going to be one of my favorite exchanges. If you guys do want to check it out, go ahead and click on the link in the description. You guys can get a referral link for that, as well as the Cash app. If you guys do want to start using the Cash app, just check out that link down in the description. So what you'll have is the deposit tab. So when you click on deposit, you'll be given the option to select the asset that you're trying to deposit. In the instance of this video here, I'm going to do my best to try and protect my privacy. What you want to do is just search for the asset. It's going to be very straightforward. You just click on Bitcoin. It's going to generate a Bitcoin deposit address. And then from there, you can choose the withdraw Bitcoin option on the Cash app and just scan the QR code to send it to the exchange. Okay, so now we have purchased our Bitcoin. We've went ahead and sent it to our exchange. The next thing for us to do is determine whether or not now is the right time to buy a cryptocurrency. For the sake of this video, we're talking about Cardano. So what I like to do personally, and this is just to show you how I look at it, this is completely subjective. We're going to be doing a little bit of TA here. So TradingView is going to be my favorite application. It's probably the most popular application in the world for charting and technical analysis, whether it's stocks or crypto, any financial market really, you can chart using TradingView. So what I've got here is the Cardano USD pair. So we're going to look at the Cardano USD pair as well as the Cardano BTC pair. So let's first take a look at the USD pair. So if we click on full featured chart, this is going to take us to where we can see the entire price history up until where they have it in their system. So in this case, it's September of 2018. First thing I like to do, I'm a big fan of dark mode. So let's turn that on. Bam. All right. And guys, this is on the weekly. For those of you guys who are interested in picking up cryptocurrency, whether you're a trader or you're an investor, that is something for you to determine. This video is going to be more geared towards those who are interested in investing for the long term. I'm going to be catering it more towards people who have a longer term time horizon. In this case here, the weekly chart and the daily chart are what I recommend in the instance that you're looking to pick up coins for a longer term investment. What we can see just from looking at this chart here is that there's been quite a bit of volatility here with the price. And where we're at currently, we can see that it's a relative low throughout the entire price history of this trading pair. We can see that we were at this level a couple of times before. We were at this level approximately around December in 2018 when we had that big capitulation. And we came out of that with a vengeance, and then we broke back down again. And then we came up, and then we came back down, and then here we are down back at the bottom. So looking at this from a longer term time perspective, and you guys notice that I don't even have any indicators or lines drawn or anything like that. This is simply based on the price level and support and resistance. So what we can see right now is that price is attempting to break above this 3-cent mark. And I would think that where we're at currently, if you are holding for the long term, guys, even if the price does go a little bit lower, let's say if the price goes back down to where we were here with this wick, maybe at 2 cents, there's better risk reward at this level for a long position than there is a short position, right? If you're in a short position, there's not a whole lot of downside left. But if you look, there's quite a bit of upside available. So that's what I like to look at. I'm not telling you guys whether to go long or go short, but that's basically my thought process when I'm looking at these charts. Let's take a look at the daily. Let's zoom in a little bit. What we can see here is that on the daily, we did have quite a correction. We pretty much gave the market back this entire move. Now, this chart pattern right here is what you would consider, just from looking at it, it could be either an ascending triangle, we've got a horizontal top and we've got higher lows, or it could be a bear flag. Seeing that we did break down with such strong volume, this could simply be a little bit of a breather for the bears before we have another leg down. So it's very subjective. Charting and technical analysis is definitely a skill that has to be practiced every day. It takes years to master it. And even then, it's like a lot of things are very subjective, and I don't consider this a bear flag or an ascending triangle until it has been validated. So we don't know until the move has actually happened. But that's essentially what we're looking at here. So I like to zoom in, zoom out, use multiple time frames to be able to tell whether or not it's a good time to go in. Let's take a look at the ADA BTC chart. And again, here guys, we're on the daily. So currently, Cardano BTC, we're at 454 Satoshis. And where we can see that we're at right now, this level has held previously as support for quite a while. So if you are going to be longing Cardano here and you have a little bit of Bitcoin and you're trying to increase your Bitcoin holdings or whatever your strategy is, this, from what we've seen historically, has been a point of support. And pro tip, we long at support and we short at resistance. So if you're a trader, what that means is basically when you're at a level of support like this, you're in a position to hold the asset and wait for it to go to a point where we've had previous resistance. And we can see that's pretty confluent with this level here. 640 Satoshis is going to be where we're going to find our next level of resistance. So that's what we're looking at here for Cardano BTC and Cardano USD. Let's go ahead and jump into the exchange that we're going to be using, and I'm going to show you guys how to look at an order book. So we are back at the exchange, and we can see here that the deposit for Bitcoin has gone through. We can see that the balance has been updated to show the amount of available Bitcoin that we have in our account. What we'll need to do now is go ahead and transfer this amount of crypto onto our trading account so that we can swap it for Cardano. So what we're going to do here, I'm going to click on transfer. And for the sake of this video, we're just going to choose the entire available amount. You can choose whichever amount you feel comfortable with, but we've went ahead and transferred it over. So now when we click on trading account, we should see the available balance. Yep, here we go. So this is the available balance that we have for Bitcoin. And what we're going to do is we're going to use this to trade for Cardano. So let's go ahead and find the Cardano. Here we go. That's the Cardano pair that we have available. We've got ADA USDT and ADA BTC. So you guys just want to be conscious of which trading pair that you're going to be using. In this instance, you've got the option for USD or Bitcoin. So we're going to choose ADA BTC. And that is going to take us to our exchange. So this is going to be where we have the option of being able to swap out our cryptocurrencies. So in this case, what we're looking at here, I know it's quite a bit on the screen. Essentially what we're looking at is going to be this option here. So this little section of the screen, this is going to be where we can place our order. And then on this side of the screen, on the right hand side, we have our order book. And then to the very right here, we have recent trades. And then we're going to be taking a look at market depth here as well. That's going to be what we're looking at. So what I like to do first when I open up a exchange and I go to see like what's going on here with the price, first thing that we can see here, this is going to be the last price that was traded for this specific trading pair. So this will show you the amount in Satoshis, so 454 Satoshis. And then right next to it, we've got the USD valuation. Pretty cool. I like how Kucoin has an intuitive chart. This is also a chart by TradingView, so they've got that API built into their platform. Makes things a lot easier if you're trying to see more of like a real-time view of what's happening with the price. And you can also select whichever time frame that you're going to be working with. A lot of times what I like to do is, for trading anyway, I typically go with the shorter time frames. It's totally up to you, whatever you prefer. You can go all the way up to the weekly time frame like we saw in the earlier section of this video. But for the sake of making this trade, I'm going to choose the 5-minute time frame, and this is going to show us a pretty good idea of what we can look at for the price action over the past, I guess you could say maybe a couple hours. But essentially one of these candles represents 5 minutes. That's basically what it is with these charts. So if I were to say theoretically want to go ahead and place an order for ADA BTC, I've got a couple options here. In this case, we've got the limit option. With the limit, you have the ability to set your price for whether you're trying to buy or to sell. In this case, you've got the option to buy. This is where you'd place that order. Over here on the right is where you'd be able to sell ADA. So limit gives you the option to be able to set the price, whether it's above or below market value. It's totally up to you. Market, it automatically chooses the best market price. I typically don't recommend choosing market because you're not going to get the best price, so to speak. You're simply just going to get your order filled the fastest, if that makes sense. So market, something I would typically stay away from, especially if you are trying to get the most crypto for the value that you have on the platform. Stop limit, this is going to be if you're in a position where you want to have a limit set. If the price were to go down by a certain threshold, let's say if you're in a long position, you have a stop limit, which allows you to exit your trade should the price turn against you. And stop market essentially acts the same way, except you're using the market price, so you're not able to necessarily set that price yourself. So for the sake of being able to get the best value, and what I typically look for is a limit buy. So I'm going to show you guys how I like to look at that. In order to find the best price or to get the most value for your crypto, what we can see here, I like to judge based on this where it shows the last price. So this is what we can see was the last traded price for this trading pair. And we can see that the next order, these are buy orders here in the green and these are sell orders here in the red. So we can see here that buyers, depending on whether you're buying or selling, buyers in this instance were paying a price of about 453 Satoshis. And another thing to look for is that this is the amount of ADA. So we can see that this person is only interested in purchasing a couple of ADA. So this order is maybe not as significant as something maybe like this here, where we can see this person is trying to buy over 5,000, or like this one here where this person is stacking up over a couple 100,000, right? So you gotta kind of weigh out these different price levels here. But what we're going to do is show you how to go about placing the order. And we can see here that this person, the order for 2 ADA has not been filled yet. So we can see that the sellers are pretty adamant about selling at this level here. And then we can see here if we look above that, so 454 Satoshis is where these sellers are interested in selling. And we can see here that this person is selling quite a bit. Actually, that order just got taken care of. And then if we go up here, so at 455 Satoshis, over 100,000 ADA are being sold at that level. So that's just what I like to look at, just to see, you know, at what level buyers and sellers are willing to come in and meet to go ahead and fill the orders. So that's what we're looking at here. This is the order book. Another thing that I like to pay attention to is the recent trades. This will show you the most recent price at which there was an order that was filled. We can see here, based on the last price, we can see that a lot of these orders were filled at that 454 Satoshi level. And then in conjunction with that, we see the market depth. The market depth is a valuable tool if you're interested in figuring out the levels at which there are more buyers or more sellers. So we can see this is kind of like a visual of, you know, what we're looking at here, whether or not there's more buyers or sellers. So I'm all the way zoomed out, and we can see here that there's quite a few buyers here, and this will show you at the level. I know there's quite a bit on the screen here, but the level at which they're willing to buy. So we've got lots of buy orders here, pretty much supporting the price down at these bottom levels. And then we can see that the sellers are coming up here as we zoom in. I know it's kind of confusing if you're just looking at this for the first time. Hopefully I did a good job of explaining that. But that's essentially what we're looking at. You can just see the level at which there are more buyers or more sellers. So I'm zoomed in, and we can see here that there are a few more sellers right now. And it does definitely change. It's pretty dynamic. So you guys have to use this with all these different tools that you have available. Don't rely simply on one tool. But yeah, that's just something that I like to look at as well. So let's go ahead and place a order for Cardano BTC. So in this case, we can see that the price did go down just a little bit by 1 Satoshi, not a huge amount. And then we see that the next buyer is willing to pay 452 Satoshis. So now let's say, for instance, if you're trying to get a really good price, maybe you want to set that level just under it. But in this case, we can see here there's quite a few buyers that are willing to go ahead and pay that price. So depending on whether or not you want to have your order filled right away, or if you're willing to be patient, depending on the price action, you just want to use your best judgment in that regard. In this case here, I'm willing to go ahead and pay the market price just to go ahead and get that order filled. So I'm going to go ahead and fill in. So we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 zeros and 453. This is going to ensure that the order gets filled as quick as possible. It's going to be 650 ADA. Again, not a huge amount compared to what we're looking at here. These people are looking at tens of thousands of ADA, hundreds of thousands of ADA. This is a smaller transaction, so I'm not too concerned about it. And let's go ahead and click on Buy ADA. And we can see here that this is the order sitting right at the top of the order book for buyers. So this order is typically going to get filled much quicker than, let's say, if you're willing to wait a little bit, maybe if you want to place the order just under this last price here. You are going to get a better value if you do that, but in this case here, I'm willing to go ahead and pay a little bit extra just so I can get the order filled quicker. So that's what we're going to be looking at here as far as placing an order on an exchange. If you guys do have any questions about this, I know it's quite a bit, go ahead and let me know down in the comments section below. If you do have any tips or suggestions for the community, leave that in the comments as well. It's always appreciated to have different perspectives. So guys, taking a look at it, that was pretty much the overview of how to go about placing the order. Once the order has been placed, the next thing for us to do is go ahead and take the funds off of the exchange. So it's just a matter of going to your exchange account, clicking on withdraw, and then you're going to have the option to enter in your deposit wallet address so that you can take your funds off of the exchange. Alright you guys, so that is going to be it for this video here today. I definitely do hope that you all found some value. Again, there's tons of different ways that you can do it, but this is how I like to do it. Keep things simple and easy to understand. So anyway, I do hope that you enjoyed it. Again, if you are new to the channel and if you like content like this, be sure to hit that subscribe button on your way out. And I will see you guys in the next video. Take care.